we still have no contract for Brian Schottenheimer. I wanted to wait till the end of the night, till the wild circus day was kind of winding down, and hit up my source and said, all right, are we 50-50? What's going on here? And the strong thought that I got in return was they still think it's going to be Brian Schottenheimer as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. So that's where things stood early yesterday evening. Still going to be Schotty over Pete.
Yeah, and I know I put it as the last line of my email on this topic, but the way I think that's right. I think it's probably going to be Schottenheimer at this point. Like, we were 90% yesterday morning. I still think probably 90%. But I think it is this.
Oh, you still think it's not? This doesn't decrease it for you?
No, because I mean I was saving 10% for just something wild that could happen like this. It doesn't sound like anything's there. I think, like I said last night, I think this is Pete Carroll right now is the shiny new toy, and Jerry wants in terms of for their discussion.
What toy is Pete?
Tinker Toys?
Tinker
Lincoln Logs? No, he's the Lincoln Logs of head coach.
Sega Genesis. He's Sega Genesis. N64. That's what he is. He's N64. The N64 was really good. It was really, really good at one time.
But I think Jerry had, my thought, and this is not anybody telling me this is just my sense of it. Jerry probably had settled into a comfort of, we're probably hiring Schottenheimer, and it's probably not the sexy hire that he wants.
Yeah.
And so when Pete Carroll all of a sudden kind of pops up as an option, I think it's like, well, I want to play with this toy, and it's begging through the glass as you're walking by the store, like, can we get that? Can I get that? I want to get that. And then ultimately he's gonna slump off, go home, and he's gonna go back to playing with the toy he's already got, which is Schottenheimer.
Was it a comfort zone or was it a realization? The realization that am I really about to do this?
Right.
I'm really about to hire
Is
this.
Brian Schottenheimer possibly going to be my last hire ever?
My last hire. Like that's probably what I mean, let's be fair. It's like it's a possibility. You know, you have to realistically think about that.
I think the Wildcatter exists in Jerry more than people feel.
We'll talk about this at 7:20. I have a rant.
Okay.
I have a Woolchuck-esque rant. I can only hope to get a third of his views with something to be said at 7:20.
You think you're going to 112,000 views? Because Woolchuck's up to 330, 336 or something now.
Dang,
and that's
Gina.
just on one platform. He's crushing it.
I know one view he'd like to get.
So
I'd trade 335,999 of those.
So Law Nation went and dug up a 2020 clip from Pete Carroll talking about Brian Schottenheimer's qualifications as a head coach when they were working together on the same Seahawks staff.
I think he's an incredible candidate. I think he's exactly what coaches or owners are looking for. He's been around. He's been in charge. He commands the whole team with his leadership. He's got great background. Yeah, I say that because I know he's been through our program for enough years that I know that he's got his philosophy in order. He's got his approach and how he would do it because we've worked on all that stuff, and so he's ready to go. We haven't talked about it this time around yet, but we've talked about it in the past, and I did hear that like yesterday or something like that, that maybe there's something up.
Is there if they were to hire Schottenheimer, I was thinking about this yesterday. Is there a realistic chance that you're talking about this will be another coach that this will be the last head coaching job they get? It'll maybe be his first, but I mean, if McCarthy doesn't get hired, for instance, the last head coach you hired that somebody else, when you let him go, went, well, I got to go get him, was Gailey.
Oh yeah, Buffalo.
Campo didn't get another job. Parcells went and got an executive job.
Right.
Phillips was a DC, but could never get that coaching job, and Garrett never got anything.
You brought this up the other day. We didn't get a chance to get to it. When's the last time the Cowboys made and had that innovative hire and person that everyone else was longing for? If that feels extinct around here.
Oh, they don't.
The Dan Campbell copy, that's Detroit doing that. McVay, Shanahan, and we're just not doing it.
We're not. They're not doing that at all.
And Jerry Jones, in every other aspect of his life, is so innovative and new and adaptive, except for the coach.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're like, he wants to find his Landry.
Yep.
All right, that was one of the things, and that's they're never the leaders in anything. Like they never said, when was the last time someone said we need to find the next Jerry Jones?
Well, I'm sure a lot of
in the
owners
football world. In the football world.
Yeah, the league thinks
The
that.
league thinks that, but in the football world, we need to find the next Jerry as the owner GM of our team. You know what I mean? Like they don't operate in a uniqueness.
Yep.
They don't operate where they did something different and the rest of the league tried to copy them. Unless it's, being frugal. Or, I'm sorry, they did. One time, find a 4th-round quarterback. But they just copied off the Patriots. They copied off of Seattle with that, too.
Jerry wore Nikes with his Hall of Fame suit. Like, he still adapts in other ways. He goes with the times. But with this, it just feels so stuck and so slow. Mike Florio stirring up some stuff yesterday.
You're kidding.
The headline said 1 year later, Rex Ryan could end up as the Cowboys' defensive coordinator. What's the tie?
With Schotty? Well, with Schotty was Rex's offensive coordinator.
Yep.
With the Jets, the ground and pound. They would have, again, I don't know how their relationship ended versus how Pete Carroll and Brian Schottenheimer's relationship ended, but, they looked like they got along on Hard Knocks that 1 year.
Well,
and listen, if you're going to hire Schottenheimer, you're going to have to try to sell something with the defensive side of the ball and with the coordinators. Solly's already out, right? He's gone. He's going to San Fran. You're going to have to find a way to sell it. Do the Cowboys have the type of personnel that would fit Rex?
It's been a long time since I read the book, but there was a book that came out about the Jets. It was after they went to their back-to-back AFC title games, and they were kind of like the next team. And the New York Times had assigned one of their non-football writers to stay with the team the whole year. And it was a book called Collision Low Crossers, which was one of their staple plays in the offense that they ran. And I seem to remember Schottenheimer and Rex being there being a positive relationship there in that book. But I need to go back and just dive into that book in general, because I remember there's a lot in there about philosophy and a lot of introspective stuff about Schottenheimer that exists in there. In fact, I don't know. I need to go find out who that author was again and see what they thought of Schottenheimer. But in general, I think that they had a solid relationship. I don't know that their relationship can transcend some of the stuff Rex has said over the last year.
Well, back in September, Rex said this about wanting to be Cowboys DC.
Could you fix the Cowboys defense right now, or is it unfixable?
No, 100%. I would have fixed it in a New York minute. But they couldn't pony up the money. That was why I stayed, here.
Our producer is a huge Cowboys fan. The fact that you say they couldn't pony up the money, he's going to go put his head in the toilet at the next commercial break.
No, but it's true. And you brought in a guy that was 29th in the league his last 2 years at Minnesota. And the enthusiasm he brings, you saw when he left, he blamed the players and I'm not going to talk to him. That's the guy that's going to inspire you. I don't know. This could go really bad for Dallas. Now, look, their schedule sets up pretty well for him, but this could go really bad for him.
And he ended up being right there. I'm in. I just want to...
On Rex?
Yeah, I'm in with Rex if it's Shoddy. I need some fun in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
that would
Bobby.
be fun. That would be a lot of fun. I'm in.
I was going to say,
Bob.
this is just a fun thing, right? For you, Rex would be fun?
I'm not also dismissing him as a bum. I'm not. Is he clownish? Yes.
He's a clown.
Is he full of hot air? Absolutely. I'm not dismissing him as a bum, DC.
I would have to go back and look at the Jets. Look, the Jets defense, they were a really solid defense anyway, right? They had good personnel, but Rex needs 2 tremendous corners. That's what because he likes to rush 4, right? That's it. And the Cowboys do have that. The Cowboys do have 2 good corners. It might work.
Well,
the last time Rex Ryan coached in the NFL in any capacity was also the same day that Tony Romo played his last game in the NFL. It's been a minute, man. Been forever.
Well, speaking of corners, I don't know if that statement holds true. As Todd Archer reports, Trevon Diggs had, is it chondral tissue graft surgery yesterday on his left knee, and the recovery could keep him until parts of training camp, if not longer. That Dr. Chow, the Twitter doc, is like, ew. He gave a reaction of, ugh, that's never usually great.
That's the reaction teams have whenever Dr. Chow talks. And
oh, really?
Google his medical malpractice history that has gotten him blackballed from the league. There's a reason he's on Outkick or whatever.
That wasn't the Tyrod needle, was it?
Just look him up. There's plenty there that was not good about Chow. But, yeah, the Diggs injury is... They talked about it. It's wild to me that we're at a point now where they let him back out there to play on it for 2 games. You remember?
Yeah.
Like he had missed some time, went back out there, and then they're like, oh, wait, this is worse than we thought. Going to shut him down for the year. Now it's like, well, no, it's so bad that we need this surgery that's going to keep him out well into training camp, maybe further. And I mean, that one injury could really have massive ramifications on how this team looks. Because I think if he doesn't get hurt, if he's healthy this offseason, there's a very strong chance Diggs would have gotten traded. Like, because they've got Bland coming up. I think there's just been some in general, some questions about how bought in is Diggs all the time. And that I think they would have tried to see what can we at least shop around and find some interest level for. But that you can't really do that now that he's hurt. Like, that's going to be an impossible move to make. And so this just complicates it more. And in the end, if you've got him locked in and you can't move him, they might just out of necessity have to say, well, shoot, we think Deron Bland's a better player, but Deron Bland's got to go.